Hey guys, good evening. It's nighttime right now. As you can see, well, I don't know if you can see, but it is nighttime. Let me move this camera over just a little bit and adjust my camera. Okay, let me put up just a little bit more. Great, now I started the video off wrong. I was supposed to just come on as soon as I was supposed to have my camera adjusted as soon as I come on, but who cares? Gosh, you get on my nerve. Dang. I'm done acting like a ghetto black girl. Okay. Yes, good people are strong. You know what's even funnier? Sensitive people are strong too. A sensitive person who is sensitive about almost everything are very good people. Most sensitive people have, and I guess I'm talking about all sensitive people. You can say sensitive people go through the most bull crap. But what's so powerful about a sensitive person, they tend to know how to maneuver their way out of a difficult situation all within their mind. It's almost like having a good person in a crowd full of people who are very mean, rude, cold hearted, and they react in ways that will cause someone else to feel disappointed because of their remarks that they may say or show to someone else about how they feel. And we all have something to say. Come on. We all got something to say. But what's really, really funny is that some people literally know how to not say something because it can cause a greater reaction that they don't want to see. Or maybe they do want to see it. They just don't want it to happen right then and there. They don't want like anything bad to blow out of proportion. And that's why some people who are sensitive, as in a good person, they tend to watch their words and they tend to not overreact, because there's enough overreaction going on in their head about how they feel about how another person has demonstrated themselves. Maybe they have shown some characteristics that were very unpleasant, and that gives a person with a good character the opportunity to react in a way that will be an overreaction that is going to match, if not greater, than the other person's personality who discriminated and um, put out some type of characteristic that made them feel uncomfortable. Um, because let's just be honest, some people actually say exactly how they feel about another person, no matter if that person asks them or if that person decided to respond back to another person's question or statement that may result in a reaction, because after every action, there is a reaction. So it's almost like the good hearted people are the winners. Almost is not a good word to use. The good hearted people, the sensitive, are the most strong. Because if you think about it, if someone does not care about how you feel and they're willing to take a risk of you breaking down in front of them, that's not too strong. That's a little bit weak. And the reason why I say that's weak is because now you're having to deal with more problems that you can actually put on your plate. That means that some people who think like that end up being the ones who are not able to have any company around them, or should I say, wholesome, decent friends. It's really funny how the people who think that they speak their mind and they don't care how other people feel, those are the ones who end up in a rut because they don't know how to maneuver their mind in their way out of getting out of a stuck situation that's only in their head. They have not found a better way to overcome a situation that seems uncomfortable for them. But 9 times out of 10, the person who is doing the backlash for fun or for spite or just so, those are the ones that are, yes, the weakest. And it's not anybody's fault. Okay. A strong person who is sensitive and like minded always tend to have the answer of why a person who does not know how to act feel. And when I say don't know how to act, I mean people who are full grown and don't know when to hold certain conversations to themselves. Let's see, when they're out in public, they have to talk about somebody, not caring if that person is listening or not. Some people just like to hear things that's going to be bashful, but as long as they are laughing at it, then it's nothing wrong with it. Which, that's as honest as you can get it. But I don't hang around people like that. I actually don't have any friends. The last friend I ever had was a friend. Well, I consider her a best friend, and I told you guys that story a long time ago. But I do have some people that I consider my friends, but I never ever go out and hang with anybody. I go out, I go to work, I come home, I stay in the house. I go to the grocery store, I come home, I stay in the house. Um, if I don't have a washer and dryer, go to the laundromat, I come home and I stay in the house. Um, I just think that, while people are practicing social distancing now, it's funny because I've already been practicing social distancing. So it's really not going to be a big issue for me, just as long as I know that I'm able to take care of myself while I am by myself. So that's the big thing. Um, what's also funny is that when I usually talk on YouTube, I talk about things that I go through. And I always tell people that they're discovering my personal life, and they are discovering my personal life. It's not everything personal, of course, because I can't show everything or talk about everything. Actually, I can talk about everything. But you can kind of understand where I'm coming from. So I never really sit there and feel bad for not going out and going to parties or going to clubs or just doing things that normal people would do every single day, because what's not normal than going to work, coming home, and staying in the house and taking care of yourself? That's pretty much normal. Doing some things that you're not used to doing that can cause you to feel uncomfortable, that's not really normal. So my comfortableness would be being at home, or if I'm not at home, I'm out somewhere doing something that is going to make me feel good and not be unhealthy. So I still want to be healthy. A lot of times people's fun can be drinking a lot or smoking a lot or going out there doing something reckless that's not really going to, well, I can't say it's not going to benefit them, but I can say, everyone has their own way of adjusting how they feel based on circumstances. And I have been around and out there enough. But when I say around and out there enough, I'm not talking about robbing somebody or fighting somebody or cursing somebody out or staying up all night drinking and smoking, going to parties. That I've never done those type of things. Um, and only because I feel more comfortable around me than anyone else. Of course, you're supposed to. Some people feel more comfortable with someone else, and that is absolutely okay. You can feel comfortable around someone else just as long as you can benefit from them, and hopefully you gain something from them that you could take with you whenever you're away from that person. Some people can't. Some people can. I don't really talk that much, so it's like when I get on YouTube, I'm able to talk more often and tell you guys a little bit more about my personal life. So you guys won't be like in an awe moment whenever I do say something. I mean, you might be in an awe moment when I post something because I'm never posting the same thing. I usually post something just different. And that could be weird to some people, and I have to tell you, I can be a little bit weird, but that's the thing, it's okay, you can be weird, um but not too weird because you don't want to disturb anyone, and you want to be that type of person that people can come to, not run from. If anything, you should be running from another person because not everyone is in the same category as you, meaning not everyone is heading towards wherever you're headed to, and that, my friend, is a must time saver. You must save that time for yourself and only for yourself. Along the run, someone will be able to come past your way and assist you with the help that you need. Therefore, you won't have to worry about if, ands, or buts. Everything will be fine, everything will be legit, and you won't have to worry about anything because you know how to bring yourself back together. So they had this thing that I thought was pretty cool and pretty funny, where we used to do it in high school or in, I was it middle school? Actually, I think it was high school. No, it was actually middle school. Okay, it was when I was in the middle college. We had this thing to where we would say, "Get it together. Let's bring it back together. Get it together right now." And I thought that was real funny. We just had little small ways of being funny. That's it. Um, But I'm not going to talk you guys' head off. I just wanted to update you, let you know that there are some good people still here in the world. I met two good people today, again, over again. And it's more better once you surround yourself around people who are um, just like you. Um, if you're the type of person that likes to stay alone and you start hanging with people who don't stay alone in a good way, then, well, yeah, or in a bad way or whatever. Some people can hang around other people more often than you, and they are still a good environment for you. Just to let you know. So, not saying that you have to stay in quarantine in your house and never talk to nobody and go outside and just meet that one person and that's it. No. People who have more time spent with other people, um, and not themselves are the ones who find themselves in the most situations, and which is okay. Unless you are a famous celebrity and or you work somewhere where it's required for you to work with many people and you have found a way for you to stay put no matter what. This is another reason why I decided to get on YouTube because I do feel like I can go to work and work some places, but I also feel like some people may not know how to act or treat you at work. Yes, everybody's different. Yes, you're going to have to go through something, but not necessarily every day. Because it's some people that I see, they feel like they have to go to work, stand on their feet every day for the rest of their life until they retire. And there's other ways out here to make money. And it's almost like, why would you put yourself in a slave like position? Now, if you're going to work, I mean, to school to become a doctor or someone that is I guess, an architect, I guess. I mean, not even architects need to go to school. Someone who's being a doctor may need to go to school because, yes, you can get all the information from on the internet, but then you will have certain type of procedures that are done certain type of ways in order for you to understand. But even if you wanted to be a doctor, all of your information is online because that's where everything is now. So it's not anything about um, you not being good enough for someone. It's about what way do you know how to present yourself that will capture someone else's attention without you being the opposite of yourself. Um, or without you being the same of yourself. Do something different. Try to build up your thoughts on what you want your next goals to be, or write them down. Because I write down in my journal all the time, and sometimes I don't even write down in it. It's not even a journal, it is a notebook that I put important information in that's encouraging, and some of the things are just jotting down things that my in my personal life that I need to go out there and get, and so on and so on. So I would not want to say that, if you're a sensitive person, because some people, I'm going to tell you straight up right now, some people do not want to be labeled as a sensitive person because they feel that as weak and as a crybaby and as a tattletale. And that is a okay. It is, I'm telling you, it is a okay. Um, but I would consider fighting for myself. If I were you, I would consider fighting for myself because now you have zero people to compete with, and you can focus on you, your lifestyle, and that's pretty much it. Okay. So, and sorry, my eyes was dozing off. I'm getting sleepy. I think that light is kind of like making me go to sleep or something. But yeah. So there's nothing else to it. Just think closely about the people who know how to act in public places and behind closed doors versus the person who does not know how to act in public places or behind closed doors. You want to be that person that knows how to act in public and behind closed doors. So, yes, the sensitive are strong. People think that they are weak because of how much bullcrap they take or they have to deal with. But at the end of the day, that was their experience. And that person's experience is going to teach them where to be in the next generation, or should I say in the next future, or anywhere ahead of them. I know I remember this one time, let me plug my phone up. I remember this one time I was in Chapel Hill. I told y'all I was in Chapel Hill, and I talked to this guy, and this guy was telling me that I was running away from my problems, and I can't keep running for long because I'm gonna have to sit there and face them. And I'm telling him like, what are you talking about? Everything you're saying is small. Like I didn't say that to him, of course, because I didn't want to hurt his feelings, but he was damn sure hurting mine. But I didn't say anything. So I'm like, wait a minute. If you're smart, if you're bright, if you're intelligent, you know when to stay, you know when to run, you know when to find another solution to get help, And me and him are two different people. He was way older than me, and I was at a shelter. He was at the shelter. He said he just lost his place, and he was going to court. And I'm just coming up there to Chapel Hill trying to find housing and a job. And so for him to dig deep down in my situation, I was like, oh my God, why is that important? But I'm the type of person that's going to listen to you. Like, I'm not going to shoot you down, nothing like that. I'm literally going to listen to you. And I can do this without hesitation, without any negativity, without any drama. I will be a good listener, and I'm always um, presenting myself as if I'm understanding everything that you say. Even if I don't agree with certain things, I won't hold that against you, and I will never sit there and make you um, believe something that you don't, you know. But he surely tried to make me believe something that I did not. He just had a bunch of negative things to say, and some of the things he said was a whole lot of good Bible verses. So I was like, yeah. But he also annoyed me because he continued to say that I was ungrateful because I left the house that I was staying in when I was living with someone else, and he didn't understand why I was at the shelter. And he was like, you're doing better than me, blah, blah, blah. You're ungrateful. You got somewhere to go. Why don't you go over there and blah, blah, blah. You're selfish. I'm like, no, I'm not. I was in a bad environment and I didn't have anywhere else to go. I had to come to the shelter. What are you talking about? You should be thanking me. A person like me who knows when to leave a toxic environment should be praised right now. I don't have to sit there. It would be dangerous for me to sit there and continue to be somewhere and it's a dangerous environment. And then he was like, no, it's not. You're supposed to stand there and you're supposed to not let anyone run you out of any place. And I'm like, dude, what is your problem? What are you talking about? You're supposed to know when to run. If someone steals something from you, okay, and you're sleeping there at night, and then you wake up the next morning and you ask staff and you ask the people around you and you ask them to please check the surveillance cameras, and they decide not to do it and they work there, that's a red flag to get up out of there, especially if it was your first night and that, or second night or third night, and you just got in there at a shelter and they have surveillance cameras. So when I asked them they can take the surveillance cameras, they refuse to do it. Why are you going to refuse to do it when that's a tool that I can use to get my items back? He said, well, no, you're supposed to go back in there, suck it up like a man. And I'm like, are you freaking serious? No. Anyone would tell you that as soon as things get missing from you around a person who you thought you can trust and it gets missing and nobody's doing anything about it, do you stay there? Especially if you have something there very important that you really need it. No, you don't stay there. That's when you know when to leave. So it's like I knew when to leave. And it's almost like he wanted me to live the life that he lived or do the things that he done. But see, I didn't even cause any chaos. I just did not show back up because I didn't like what was going on. So I thought it was really, really weird. But here I go again. Good people go through the most, and they are very sensitive. Now I could have went off in there. I could have set the whole place on fire. I could have shot everybody in there. I could have had everyone. I could have called police and had everyone searched. I could have done some wicked things in there, but I know how embarrassing that would be. I know how the people who had nothing to do with it, how it would affect me because then they would think that, this is how I respond to things. I didn't want anyone to think that, and I don't. Um, Instead, I just get on YouTube and talk about it because it could be reaching somebody. You never know; it could be helping somebody. So, not that you don't already know, but you know, it's just class or no class. People who have a good mindset will be able to see the class in you, so they will continue to work with you, or they won't have any bad thoughts about you because they see you. Um, and it was very strong of me to sit there and take that. So I'm not worried about it. Just wanted to upload this video and let you all know about that. Not that you didn't already know, but who knows? It can help somebody else. So I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye.